Today, I will tell you about a girl who after graduating started working part-time for older men. A 16-year-old girl named Isabel comes out of the water onto the shore. After looking around and making sure that no one sees her, she takes off her swimsuit, not noticing that her younger brother Victor is watching her. Having gone down to his sister, Victor tells her that Felix, a friend from Germany who came to their house and met with Isabel's mother, was looking for her. Later, left alone after lunch, Mama Sylvia offers to invite Felix to dinner, but Isabel refuses, calling him stupid. Victor, suffering from insomnia, goes up to his sister's room and finds Isabel satisfying herself with a pillow. After that, the teenagers go to the beach, where they meet Felix, who is relaxing with a friend. Felix says that in the evening they're going for a walk and invite Isabel with them. As evening falls, the girl suggests that Victor distract her parents while she quietly leaves the house. She promises to tell him about her walk with Felix. In the evening, they walk around the city and then go to the beach, where Felix takes Isabel's virginity. Returning home, Isabel finds Victor in her room. He wants to know if she slept with Felix and how it went, but Isabel does not want to discuss it with her brother and sends him to her room. The next day, Isabel goes to the beach with her family. There, Felix comes up to them and sits down next to the girl. When Isabel's family runs to the water, she goes with them. Looking at her, Felix says that he has never met anyone like her. With the onset of autumn and her 18th birthday, Isabel returns to her native Paris with her family. She does not feel satisfaction and tenderness from her first intimacy with Felix. Isabel registers on an escort service website, not so much for the money as for pleasure. The girl's first client is Georges, an older man whom Isabel meets in a hotel room. When Georges meets a young student, he asks her age. From that moment on, the old man becomes Isabel's regular client. At one of their meetings, he admits that he would like to spend the whole weekend with her, but Isabel cannot just leave the house for a few days, since her family does not know about her classes, and the meetings are limited in time. Returning home, Isabel watches erotic films to simulate the pleasure of sex for her clients. Soon, she receives a new order. Running into the toilet at the metro station, Isabel changes her clothes and goes to the meeting. Like last time, she deceives the client, claiming that she is 20 years old. Having brought the girl to the hotel room, the guy does not even touch Isabel, only taking care of himself. When she is about to leave, the client hands her money, but the amount turns out to be significantly less than what they agreed on. Deceived, Isabel returns home, and at that moment she receives a message from a new client, but now she demands 500 euros for the meeting. At the meeting with the client, Isabel asks for money in advance to avoid being deceived again. She goes to the theater with her mother and stepfather, where she accidentally meets her regular client George with his daughter. Noticing that the girl is staring at them, his daughter asks who it is. George pretends not to know Isabel and takes his daughter away. Heading to the toilet, Isabel notices her mother chatting pleasantly with Peter, the husband of her sister Sylvia, and realizes that her mother is probably cheating on her stepfather. Taking her seat, Isabel receives a message from George asking her to meet at the same hotel. Getting ready to go home, she thanks Georges and is about to leave, but the man asks if she has many other clients. From her reaction, it becomes clear that he is not the only one. Soon, Isabel receives another message from George asking her to meet. During their meeting, the man has a heart attack. After unsuccessfully trying to give her mouth to breathe, Isabel runs away in a panic but slips, falls, and cuts her forehead. A few days later, the police come to the hospital where her mother works. The photos they show Sylvia show that she did not leave the hotel on the day of George's death. The police find out that Isabel works as an escort and tell Sylvia about it. Back home, the police find Isabel's laptop with her account on an escort website. After conducting a search, the detective finds a purse full of money that Sylvia and their housekeeper knew nothing about. When Isabel returns from school, Sylvia admits that she knows about her daughter's double life and about George's death. In a fit of anger, she begins to beat Isabel, but soon calms down and asks for forgiveness. The girl swears that she will no longer be an escort. During interrogation at the police station, Isabel tells how she and her friend were once followed by a man who offered money for a meeting. She refused, but remembered his phone number. Later, after seeing a report about students working as an escort, Isabel decided to try again, buying a second SIM card and registering on a website. At dinner, Sylvia suggests that Isabel visit a therapist. She cannot refuse, otherwise she could be forcibly placed in a psychiatric hospital. At the reception, she talks about meetings with clients, noting that she enjoyed communicating with George since he was gentle and courteous. However, after the last meeting, when he wanted Isabel to be on top, she felt like George's killer and decided to no longer be an escort. Late at night, Sylvia comes to Isabel and suggests that they unwind by going to London for shopping. Isabel, however, declares that she hates them. When her mother asks her what the doctor said, Isabel refuses to discuss it, but Sylvia assures her that she will understand, because she has made mistakes herself. After Isabel slaps her mother, she asks if Sylvia is sleeping with Peter. If her mother answered yes, it would mean trust. but Sylvia leaves silently. Sometime later, Isabel and her friend Claire go to a party where she meets a classmate, Alex. They start dating, but Isabel doesn't get satisfaction from being intimate with him and soon announces that it's over between them because she doesn't love him. After Alex leaves, Isabel takes out a second SIM card and starts receiving messages. One of them makes her come back to the hotel where she met George. There she meets his wife, Alice, who really wants to see the one her husband was with last. Isabel sincerely regrets George's death and blames herself, but Alice doesn't consider her guilty because George had a bad heart. Alice admits that if she were less shy, she could also be an escort. Now, being too old, she has to pay for the meetings herself. Alice says that she booked the room where Isabel met George and offers to keep her company. Up in the room, Alice says that she really wanted to see this room. Isabel, looking at the woman, asks if she needs to undress. Alice says there is no need for that and asks Isabel to lie down next to her on the bed. Turning to Alice, Isabel admits that she also needed to see this room, for which she thanks her. I also recommend watching other videos on my channel. Good luck!